Hey, let's see here. Should have camera on. Let's see. Yes. Let me make sure. That should be on there. And there it is. So, Justin, hey, what's up, man? Hope you all are doing good today. Let me know if you can hear me okay. If I'm coming through nice and clear. Hello, the Bigfoot Society. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Nice and clear. Cool, cool, cool. Right on. Nice. Just got done watching whatever stories. You're good. Thank you, thank you. Some of them I have to, like I said here, I'm kind of like more like 60% entertainment, 40%, of the encounters and everything else. The it's kind of like everything's based on a true story. These are the accounts I get. These are the experiences I get, and then I kind of create the backstories around them. So really do it just for fun. I really enjoy it. I love being a part of this community. I do some live interviews though from people. Ed, hey, Nora, hey. I just wanted to let you also know that I do some interviews, real interviews, live interviews here and there, usually weekly. Right now I've got 2 or 3 of you lined up again for those, and wanted to say thank you for reaching out there. And Maria, hey. Love you here in Texas. I've been to Texas. I love Texas. Matter of fact, I've been flown out there 3 times to speak. I actually stayed in a place 3 times. It was actually out in Austin, a place called Bee Cave. So it was pretty interesting. And I stayed out with some people on Lake Austin or whatever it is, right next. I think there was a famous actress. There was a neighbor, that Bullock girl or lady or something. Here you just find in Ohio. Awesome, loud and clear, straight up, nice, right on. I would show you guys the books that I gave away on the last giveaway, but I gave them away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something really awesome and really cool, and I think, yep, this is it right here. Next month, for April, I'm going to be giving away, and it's autographed by Mr. Jevning himself, Notes from the Field book. Notes from the Field. So, you guys can get over to PacWestBigfoot.com. You guys can sign up there if you want to. And if you sign up and join the clan there, you can. I give away a little something every month for free. It's pretty awesome. Matter of fact, somebody sent me this. It wasn't my somebody. It was my nephew-in-law gave me this. It says, I'm pro Sasquatch and I vote, and I'm gonna put that on my car. Yeah, awesome. So you should come to PA to one of my meetings every month. You should have those streamed live on here, man. I would probably jump on from time to time just to kind of listen in. So that'd be kind of awesome. So that'd be really, really cool. I'm not going to be able to stay on as long today. I'm going to stay on here for about a half hour, answer some of your questions. I know some of you guys have been asking me a little bit about my own experiences here in the Pacific Northwest, and so I figured I would jump in there and give you guys kind of a kind of a breakdown of what happened. And before I get into the, I love the bumper sticker. I'll bring that up in the next one. Yeah, and I can show you guys how to use it. It's pretty simple. You can just get a simple laptop. It's fine. Basically, what happened was I had 2 experiences. I didn't have a sighting, but 2 experiences. But they were basically 20 years apart, right around about 20 years, give or take a year or 2. 20 years apart, but they were within 2 to 3 miles of each other. So that was kind of interesting. basically, it was the first one. I was, gosh, what was I? 13, 14. I was about 14 years old. Just started, about to head into high school and everything else, and we decided that Christmas to go. We lived out in Rogue River. We lived way out East Evans Creek Road, and you can look on there in a map. We lived about about 6 miles, I think it was 6 miles, or so past the high school there. And we decided that we're going to follow that all the way out and go out towards Elderberry Flats here in Southern Oregon. And we went to Elderberry Flats, and it's not really all that flat there, really. There's a pretty cool creek that runs through there and everything else. But what happened was, we went out there to get a Christmas tree that morning. It had been snowing kind of the night before and a little bit earlier that morning before we got there when it was still dark. It was kind of cool. We were like, oh wow, Christmas snow, blah blah blah. Because not often do we actually get snow on the valley floor or anything like that. But it was snowing everywhere, and we decided to drive out there. And up there in the mountains, up in Elderberry Flats and everything, it was lots of good snow. Now it wasn't deep. It's not like back east right now or anything. It ain't up to my knees or anything. Just right around my ankles or just above my foot there, which was kind of nice. And we came down the mountain road, and this is exactly what we saw. This is me and my mom. And when we were coming down the road, there was a little driveway, a little side driveway that led into an old logging road. And as you turned onto it, to the left, there was this kind of big turnaround area. It's pretty big, I wouldn't say it was like a football field size, but it was, maybe like 45 yards, 40 yards or whatever in, and length and width and whatever. But backed by it were these kind of almost sheer like mountainsides, hillsides going up. You could walk into them, but it'd be pretty strenuous. And then you could walk along the little tiny stream on this side of the road, and on the left-hand side of that driveway, back around the hills and down the road. And that's where my dad and my brother and sister kind of went off that way, doing their crazy stuff. I don't even know if they were really looking for Christmas trees as much as me and my mom were, because we're a bunch of Christmas freaks. So in this open area, if you look straight up and you go up this way, there is a road that goes up around the mountain. It's an old logging road. It just kind of goes, starts wrapping around the mountain to where you can't see. And it goes up about a good football field length until it starts turning. And we went up the road, just walked right up, almost dead center of the road, walked up it about 75 yards, just, about 20, 30 yards before that turn, and we kind of veered off a little bit on the side of the road. When you're on that road, it's very, very small, but to the side of it is like, 25, 35 yards of just, I can't remember how far back, but it's just empty, barren. I think because if trucks come down too fast around that bend, they have a place to kind of peel off to if needs be. But it was lined with trees, though, on that, after that. I mean, it's just a thick wall. You guys know how it is here in the Pacific Northwest. And at that time of the year, even early in the morning, it was a clear day. There was sun out and about, I remember. But there was snow. Freshly fallen snow was there and everything else. Hey, Roland. But basically, in a nutshell, we were off there, and kind of my mom was looking around, kind of into the woods. You can only see about, 15, 20 yards into this stuff. It's so black and thick here. But she starts walking out. I start following her. We start walking back down the road, but we were just off, to the side a little bit. And all of a sudden, she's looking down, and she kind of looks up. She looks back down, and she's all, "Hey, Dave, come look at these." And coming out from the side of the trees going back down the road, and it came out at kind of a rounded kind of an angle like this, around like a lazy kind of a walk, but it was straight, foot in foot, right in front of the other, not like people where we go like this. This was boom, 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 boom. And these things had to be, and I'm guesstimating though, I'm going to let you know I'm guesstimating at this, but they were huge, because I know that they were almost twice as wide as my own foot. And I was 13 at the time, and I'm still pretty short guy. I mean, I'm like, inches shy of a disability check here. basically, these things must have been 16, 17 inches in width, in length. I mean, they were huge, and we remember that there were distinct toe impressions. And at first, my mom was like, bear or black bear or something like that, but there was toes. There was toes. Even years later, my mom's like, "Are you sure we didn't see bear track that day?" And I was like, "Mom, do you remember toes?" And she's like, "Yes, I remember toes and a heel and all of that." And she's like, "Yes." I was like, "It was not a pad." I've worked with bears before, and I'll tell you there is a difference between a footprint and a pad. Even when you get one over the other, you can still tell a difference when it comes to the toes. And those toes were just toes. But they went all the way down this, just off the side of the road there, just right there off the side of that road, down to where the little tiny stream was, or little creekish kind of thing was. And then all of a sudden they came right back straight up in almost like a diagonal shot right back into that thick line of forest. How fresh were they? Well, the thing is that when I woke up that morning, it is just, the sun was just coming up, and I noticed it was just barely snowing, but I could tell that there was nice fresh snow, so it must have been snowing earlier on in the morning. And when we got there, it was still morning, and so they must have been. I'm going to say, in all honesty, probably about 4 or 5 hours old tops. That's what I'm guessing. But when have I heard any? Anyways, what happened was that we saw these tracks, and here's the deal. 20 years later, I go up there with my good friends, my buddy, his wife, and their little girl, and we were all going to camp and do some gold panning and have some, hang out for the weekend and whatnot. We'd never done gold panning before, but we saw the show, and we were like, "Hey, dude, let's go try it out." Blah blah blah. I figured gold panning was better than my regular job, and up here in the Pacific Northwest, you can go from being a lawyer during the day, a banker, a mayor, or whatever, to gold panner over the weekend. So that's how it is here. It's pretty awesome. We decided to go gold panning and check out, see what we could do. And we were about 2 or 3 miles below where me and my mom originally found the tracks, and I can't remember, if I told them about that or, mentioned it. I know it was in my mind. I kind of remember that. I think I might have said, one time me and my mom found Bigfoot tracks, blah blah blah. Probably didn't last long, anyways. But I'll tell you this, it was the second night when all of this happened. The first night I know that his wife eventually told us that, she was having some sort of weird, creepy-ish feeling. She didn't really say anything because it wasn't that strong or that crazy, but it was a little off, just made her feel a little off. I do remember that, but getting into actually what happened was, the second night, we all decided, it was late, we decided to go, head off to bed. And in the tent had those little sections, where you can zip off a section. So there was me, and then there was Mike over here, his daughter, and, and his wife, Mommy. She was over there. It was really weird because she said she heard you could hear this sniff, like a real big, real quick. And as that happened, she was kind of not sure if she was quite awake or whatever, that kind of sleep wake thing that you're kind of in. But at that second that she heard this, nobody heard anything approach the tent, nothing like that. But it came right outside the tent. It was right next to, kind of right there in the middle of the tent area where the little one was, and my buddy and his wife. And all of a sudden, the little girl, she's 2, she just screams like this blood curdling, 2-year-old girl screamed. It's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I got a 2-year-old boy and he does that, and it's just, this is like 100 times worse. And all of a sudden, she lets out this real quick but loud, blood-curdling scream. It stops, and all we hear is thud, 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 splash, thud. It was bipedal walking. Now, where we were camping was kind of some nice sandy area, but for the most part around there, it was just that kind of river, creek, rock, rocks, not too big, like golf ball size, but flatter. You know what I mean? that you'd find on the side of a river or a creek up here in the Pacific Northwest. And you could hear it going thud, 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 splash, thud. That means when it crossed the creek, it took one stride basically, or basically two strides to get across that creek. You go splash and then thud again. I mean, it's on the other side of the creek. And here's the deal: that creek, even at that time of the year, was a good 10, 12 feet wide with water in it, and it was low at the time. So whatever it was had a good 5-6 foot stride on it. And then we hear this crashing, just crash, 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 just going up the side of in front of us on the other side of the creek was this just literal mountain hill thing that's like like this thing is just going up there. And all of a sudden my buddy grabs a gun and a light, gets out of the stands up, unzips the tent. I'm starting to get out and go with him. Next thing you know, we're outside the tent, and boom, whatever it was stops. No more sound. No sound. No crickets. No nothing. Just nothing. Whatever it was had to all of a sudden stop and just. I'm telling you, it had to just kind of. It went down, and it stopped. And he put that flashlight everywhere he could. Didn't really see much of anything. All we know is that, basically we all got out of the tent eventually. Mama and the daughter, they got out. We all went and slept in the car for the night, the 4Runner that night. But I tell you, man, it was crazy because we looked at each other and it was like, that's bipedal, dude. It was thud, 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 splash, thud. It was bipedal. It was walking. It was smash, 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 splash, smash. So the thing is that for me, and you could feel it like when you feel somebody run across a wood floor and you're laying on it. That feeling. Maybe in a gymnasium or something, you're kind of laying down. You can hear people kind of running. That's what you feel, and that's what we felt there, and that was on pure solid earth. So, that's the incidences and experiences I had. And my mom also, about 5 or 6 years before that, when I was even younger, we were staying up at, we'd go up and camp at a place called Hyatt Lake from time to time. And there's a little place called Little Hyatt, which is this they call it Little Hyatt Lake, which is more like a glorified pond in the middle of this little meadow. In the middle, surrounded by nothing but mountains. I mean, you can't really see anything out of there but these little mountains in this little meadow. And she swears that when we were camping at Big Hyatt Lake, about 3 miles away from it, 4 miles, she swears like once in a while she could hear these blood-curdling screams coming from that general direction. So for her, the evidence with the footprints and the screams, and then me telling my story to her, she was like, that's pretty interesting. Hey, Jennifer. So just wanted to share that with you guys, and you guys can rewatch this and hear my story. And I just wanted to kind of share that with you today. I won't be on as long today. The kids are at grandparents' house, and we're gonna do our was that spring break this next week. We homeschool, so we're gonna run spring break next week. Hi, Adam, please tell me anyone where I can get information on Bigfoot. I don't know about that. That'd be kind of cool. Question: why is it that when shown footprint cast, very rarely is a set displayed? Sometimes it's just why don't they have? They do have sets of them. One of the second longest or the first longest set of tracks ever recorded was actually not far from where I live. It's about 20 or 30 miles up the road. It was actually on Finding Bigfoot, the series. It was out near it's a reservoir up there. Yeah. I can't remember. Ding, 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 ding. Way to go, Dave. But yeah, that's up there. I'm just kind of wandering through these questions now. Let's see. Homeward Bound. Jennifer, hey. Super, no answer to your question, but if you find out the answer, yes, please, Mr. Super, let us all know. Mm. Let's see here. You guys can ask some questions if you want to. Cool. Let's see here. Let's roll on down. Watch the Mac Daddy of Bigfoot's King Kong. Nice! Yeah, let me know how it goes, man. Bigfoot like to hide behind pine trees. Oh, they probably hide behind anything, man. Yeah. How can I send you some encounter stories? My dad told us. PacWest Bigfoot. PacWest Bigfoot at gmail.com. And if you'd like to, Maria, just sitting down and doing an interview would probably be even more fun, huh? So if you want to, let me know, and I can set up a time, and you can share your story, your dad's stories with all of us, and we can do a little interview in the next week or two if you wish. That would be actually much more fun. I love it. So be pretty cool. If you don't mind, that'd be awesome. Let's see. I had to remove you, Will. Some of your comments were just absolutely ridiculous. One thing, guys, here, I do monitor all comments on the videos on this stream because I just don't want to deal with morons. I'm sorry. I'm just not that kind of guy. I just don't like dealing with them, and I don't want them bugging you guys at all, for those of you that enjoy PacWest here. And also, I've decided that on these live streams, I'm going to give a shout out to a cool, awesome Bigfoot show or, program or system online, something, book or something like that. This week, I wanted to give a shout out to Monster X Radio. Monster X Radio. You guys can go there on YouTube, check out some of the stuff that Gunner has over there. I actually got to know Gunner a little bit, did a little review with him. Really enjoyed it. It was a real blast. And I have to tell you, I've been listening to some of Gunner's stuff over there at Monster X Radio at night, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome, and I'm really enjoying it. And each week, I'm gonna be looking around on YouTube and out here in some of the blogosphere and find some places out here where you guys can get some more interesting stories and encounters and research information and entertainment information and everything else. So I'm going to share those with you every single week as well. So I hope you enjoy that. Like I said, my stuff here is my content is free. I work on donations. You can donate on PacWestBigfoot.com, or you can sit through all the little commercials. It's the only way that I monetize this whole thing and have it pay for itself is the AdSense and donations. So that's how that works. I actually use the donations to go out there and get like some really cool stuff and giveaways and whatnot for you guys, and get those out to you and everything else. So, have any hair samples from a supposed Bigfoot been proved to be hollow like those from a polar bear? I don't know. I think Meldrum has a lot of information on his YouTube channel about that, and I gotta sneeze. Oh. I've had sick kids in here for like 2 weeks. Do you listen to Dark Waters? Yes, I do. From time to time, I listen to Dark Waters. I do like Dark Waters. It's probably one of them, the ones I was going to mention eventually here. Ancient polar bear in Tibet. Possibly. They could have. Hi, David from Indy. Love the channel. What's your favorite story you've heard so far? My favorite Bigfoot encounter story. I really enjoyed William Jevning's encounter when he was younger. That was pretty interesting. The other one that I really like, I have to tell you, comes from the Sasquatch Chronicles with Wes and them out there. I'm not. I don't know about their own encounter. I'm still kind of debating on whether or not that one was real or not. But one of their oldest ones, their older ones back there, was about this bow hunter up in Washington and his experience. Now he didn't. I don't think he saw this thing, but he could hear them and he could sense them, and they were in his. It was in his camp and everything else. I have to tell you, when that guy spoke and when he was telling his experience, you just know what he experienced and what he's telling you is true. The other one came from the guy out of Tennessee, that's a very popular one where him and the guys were up in the cabin, was banging on the door. He's like, "Oh, you're banging on the door." He's got that southern accent. That was a really good one too, but one of my favorites was the very simple one. And I usually find that the ones that are, usually pretty simple, brief encounters usually tend to sound just so authentic, I wouldn't say, Mikey, if I believe Wes or not. What I do know is that there's contradicting evidence to go the other way with that. So for me, I don't know, but I do know that I love the show. I love the interviews. The other favorite interview of mine was the one around Christmas time when the gentleman who lived out there in this kind of like area up in Washington State, and they had that it was really interesting, real interesting encounter. BDRP is a investigator out of Oklahoma you would like. Oh, sweet. I'll check that out. Alright, man. A year ago, I went to Marino training in Redstone or Alabama. Huh? I would like to hear that one, JR. I could do a little interview if you'd like to with that. PacWest Gmail. PacWest Bigfoot at gmail.com. Rock! Good luck with today's live show. Just leaving for work. Catch you soon, brother. You too, buddy. You too. I just want to say, guys, Rock City Marco, man, he's been following me since day one, guys, and I just want to give Rock a shout out real quick. God bless you, man. Stay safe at work. Do good, and enjoy your day, brother. God bless you, man. Nora, what do you think of the man that has frozen Bigfoot parts from one his father killed? If that were true and it was really substantial evidence that was some sort of Bigfoot, it would be on the front of Time instead of them trying to make fun of Trump again. So it's just the way it is. So do I believe? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna, like I said, guys. I don't like to go out and say things about other people or call them liars or anything like that, unless proven so. So there we have it. Anyone who knows where I can get? Oh, I saw that one. No, I don't know that. Let's see. David, Ray, and doubt they eat wolves. I don't actually doubt that. I don't doubt anything that they eat because first off, we gotta sit there and actually pull one in here and really do some. I don't know. I mean, we didn't know that great white sharks went to the middle of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, dove 800 feet just to have babies. So who knows? Do they eat wolves or do they not eat wolves? I don't know. But I wouldn't be willing to say they don't. As a matter of fact, I'd be more or less on the side of that they do. I thought so, but they look authentic. Hi, sorry, I'm so late. No, don't worry about it. I'm not going to be on here that long today, guys, anyways. This next week is spring break for my family. My wife's going to be back here shortly. Me and her and the 2-year-old are going to go out for lunch. The other kids, I have 5 kids altogether. 21, 12, 9, 6, and 2. So there you are. I can see you over here. Hey. Uh, I love your honesty. Way to go, brother. If you're talking to me, Maria, thank you so very much. And I'd love to hear your dad's stories and hook up with that. That'd be awesome, awesome. Thank you so very much. What do you think of them gifting and paying for stolen fruit from trees? I'm not really much into the gifting thing yet. I'm not really sold on that. I hear that kind of stuff, and it kind of worries me a little bit. Um, you know, I understand Jane Goodall hanging out with gorillas and stuff like that. I get that. And eventually, you know, getting into their particular societal, ways or whatever. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, on the other hand, I think it's completely different. I think that's like going out and swimming with nurse sharks, which are pretty docile, and going out and swimming with great whites. I really, really think that it's two different things here. Two different. I just don't know about the gifting. If you guys get mad at me about that, I get it. I understand it. I have some encounter stories and stuff that people sent me that has to do with gifting and stuff like that. I get that. I've got some of those we're putting together right now for them, and I'm not against it. I'm just saying that I'm not really sold on the idea behind it, or if it really, really, really does happen. I'm just not sold on it yet. You know, just not. Um, let's see. What do you think of that? Yeah, I've got a little army. I do. I got this little army. It's nice. I don't know who's a jokester here, though. I guess we all are. It's kind of fun. Gosh, man. That many kids, you're a man of immense control. I am a professional blogger. I am a professional internet marketing coach and consultant. I've actually consulted for 3 Fortune 500 companies. I run blogbythesea.com, davidboozer.com, and PacWestBigfoot.com was something I started because I love talking about the subject. I love being a part of it. I love the factual side of things as much as I like the entertainment and reading novels about this whole thing. So I just wanted to be a part of the community. That's why the content is free, and I only use donations and the advertising here to kind of pay for itself. I don't really need the money. I'm just here because I really enjoy it. So I didn't give them food. They took my apples and found a dead bull. Oh, see, that's interesting. I don't know why they would do that. I have no idea. The whole practice of gifting, or I don't know. I'm not. If we were in the head of a Bigfoot, if we were, hey, you're welcome there, Rock. Oh, I love that show because you're real and refreshing. Thank you, Nora. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, Nora, what a good name. Do you remember that movie Pete's Dragon? Had Nora in it, and it was Helen Reddy, and she said, wonderful voice from that lady. Watch Sasquatch on Torio. This guy has audio of Sasquatch. He is friended. Yeah, see, I could check that out. Friending a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. I think that more controversial than the whole subject of Bigfoot and Sasquatch is the controversy between these things being actual wild animals and them being some sort of being that has the potential to sit there and do things like that. I think that's more of what we find today than the existence. The existence, whether you're into creationism or evolution. I'm into creationism because it just fits better the puzzle that is science. Either way, it fits, especially with creation science. It fits. It makes sense, and the possibility of it from the evidence at hand. It fits. It works. So, as far as I'm concerned. But it being a wild animal totally fits. Does it gift? Does it do some quirky, weird things that some animals just do? Possibly, yeah. I don't see why not. Have you ever encountered a Bigfoot home? I have a gentleman down in Myrtle Creek, down there. He goes up Cow Creek, where the Cow Creek Indians are from. He sent me some pictures. I'm gonna head out there this spring and stuff as soon as I get some more time. And he's actually come across some really awesome structures that look to be. One of them actually was like like a I don't know. It was like a little, not a little one, but a big, huge, like limbs going like this, and then it was covered with stuff. So I don't know if it was made by a person or made by Bigfoot. However, he has a lot of experiences with Sasquatch out there. So, and so have the Cow Creek Indians. So the thing is that it could be, and I want to go check out and see some of these. Kane is a jokester. Oh, I don't even know who Peter Kane is. Peter, are you on here? Peter must be somebody on here. Awesome. No, you guys banter between yourselves all you want. I'm all good with it. Would you be on Darkness on the Edge of Town? What do you mean, would you be on Darkness? Is that like a show or something like that? I don't know. Any sightings in Rockland, Orange County, New York State? Lots of encounters, I think, in New York State. Upper New York has got a lot of interesting stuff. The reason I focus in on the PacWest is just because I'm from the PacWest. I love the PacWest. I will do interviews with you guys. I will sit down and do live interviews with you for those of you who are here, and I don't care if you're, as long as you're in the U.S. or Canada, whatever. I'll do some interviews with you. I stick to North America basically for the interviews, but the actual encounter stories on the website itself, and some of those encounter stories are really all kind of PacWest based, except for the interviews. I will sit down with anybody from Florida to Ontario. I don't care. I live in northern New York. Yeah, so you got some encounters or experiences there. Let me know. We'd like to sit down with you and do an interview. Yes, Adirondack encounters. I do. As a matter of fact, I got some friends that do a lot of research up that way. William Jevning and his group do a lot of. He's got a group up there in the Adirondacks that do a lot of research and stuff. So I'd like to sit down with you, Jack, if you got some cool stuff. PacWestBigfoot@gmail.com. You can contact me there and we'll set up a time. I think Bigfoot eats the same things as human eats. I think so too. I think it's kind of both. It's an omnivore. I think it's both. It eats meat and vegetables. I do. Brown Dwarf, greetings. Hey, your book should be there any day now. So it should be here by no later than Monday, at least Tuesday. Lake Placid, I have a camp in the High Peaks region. Ooh, awesome. I think Sketcher will lead anything close by. Same here. The Best of Whitehall is a very famous story in northern New York. Oh yeah. Whitehall. Yeah, it's a pretty popular place there. Hey, you're welcome. You won, buddy. You're awesome. Thank you, sir, for being here. Hey, Roland. But like I said, I'm not going to be here as long today, guys. It's already been about 40 minutes, so let's go about 5 more minutes. I wish I could stay on longer, but this next week is, I'm starting this weekend. It's just me and the wife and the 2-year-old. The other kids are at Grandma and Grandpa, so we're going to get out of here and go have some lunch together today and relax and have some fun. And I have a friend. He actually passed away, just to let you know. He passed away last year, and we called him the Goat Man. And him and his wifey, girlfriend thing, whatever you want. He's an old hippie. They were hippies. They had a really, really kind of spectacular, I would say, but scary encounter up in the back of Mount Ashland, out towards Colston Valley and down towards the Oregon Northern California border. And I just got that one put together and everything, so it'll be out here. And I grew up with Goat Man. It was so funny because I used to be a skateboarder. I was actually a sponsored skateboarder, guys, when I was younger. And I'd go out to this little McDonald's, man, and we'd grab some ice water and stuff. And Goat Man was always sitting there because he'd come back and he'd hike over and he'd sell his little jewelry and weed on the side. It's Oregon, come on. And he would sit there in the back of McDonald's, in the back, inside McDonald's in the back sections, and he'd sit there and just drink coffee all day when he'd come in on Fridays and sit on the weekends. And last year, I actually got to see him again, and we actually sat down for a little bit, and he told me this really interesting story. And so I created a little bit of the backstory around it because I didn't get to record it because I just ran into him. But it was pretty intense and pretty awesome. It'll be out here later on next week, so it's pretty cool. I liked it. Goatman was a funny guy. He was an awesome guy. You surf? I don't surf anymore. I got scars from surfing on my face. My son and I skate. Dude, I actually was sponsored by Airwalk and Boys and Girls Club of America and a couple skate shops where I lived here in Southern Oregon when I was younger. I actually got to skate with Steve Caballero, Tony Guerrero, let's see who else, Nadas Kappas, Steve Rocco. I knew Steve Rocco pretty well. That was pretty awesome. I used to go down to Redondo and skate down there, Santa Cruz, and then I go down to LA to Redondo, Manhattan Beach and whatnot, and skate down there from time to time. So got to meet back then, he's got his own blog today, man. Rodney Mullen. He had a wife named Sophia at the time. Christian Hosoi. I've met Christian Hosoi. He's a really awesome Christian guy. He's pretty cool. Sweet. Yeah. That was a long time ago, though. I'm 45 and I'm old and fat vlogger now, so. Now I just sit around listening to baseball games and blogging, so it's pretty fun. So, isn't there Tennessee sightings? There's actually a lot of different Tennessee sightings out here. I would go in on YouTube and put in Tennessee Bigfoot sightings. One of my favorite encounters is with a guy who kind of got hired by that Forester Service thing, and they were trying to find a lost dad and son who actually weren't lost after all, but they went trekking through the snow to find him, and they had probably one of the hair-raising events. The Smoky Mountains, that was it. Smoky Mountains. Check that one out. That was actually a really awesome one. That was like probably my second favorite one out here because you just know the guy was just straight up with it. The other one was a bow hunter out of Washington State over on Sasquatch Chronicles. That was another good one. So, with that, guys, I've got to run. I have one client I have to go talk to, and then I am going to head off for the weekend. You guys have an awesome Bigfooty weekend. And if you're doing any research, doing any trampling through the woods this weekend, I'm going to tell you this right now. Be careful. Be safe. While there's a big controversy between them being good things or dangerous things, always err on the side of dangerous. I just think it's a good thing to keep our heads on right and keep safe. So just do that. Also, we've got spring break happening around the country, and we got a bunch of crazy kids running around. So let's all be safe. Sound good? All right. Enjoy your spring break coming up. Enjoy this spring. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing my own research and stuff out here around Southern Oregon this spring and summer, and recording some of it. So with that, guys, thank you so very much. God bless you. I am out of here, and I will talk to y'all next week.